Hi Flosstube, I'm Lori and welcome to Once Upon a Stitch. Today is June 1st, 2022. It is Wednesday. Normally I don't video on a Wednesday because I have Caleb, but there was a change of plans this week. So it's a little bit later in the day. I usually try to do my videos in the morning and then get on with my day. But I had to make a few stops this morning, some errands. And I stopped at Needleworker's Delight to pick up some haul that I had ordered, and it was ready for me to be picked up, so I stopped there. And then I came home, and here we go. So it is about 1:20 in the afternoon. It's an overcast day, possibly showers. Yesterday was like in the 90s. Today it's in the 70s. Crazy weather. Anyway, welcome to my channel if you're new. If you're my regular subscriber, welcome back. Plenty to tell you, lots to show you, and I hope I don't forget anything, but if I do, I'll just show it to you in the next video. So let's get right into it. Questions and comments and any updates that I might have for you. First, someone asked me about this quilt on the wall that I have here. I'm going to just shuffle you over just a little bit so you can see a little bit more of it. I don't have a name of the quilt. I think I might have gotten it out of a magazine, but I don't know which one because I recycled all my quilt magazines. But on the back it says hand-pieced, machine quilted, completed during the aftermath of Tropical Storm Sandy, November 2nd, 2012. And it has my name and the town and the state, Clark, New Jersey. So that's all I can tell you about it. I didn't realize that, you know, with just like needlework, you keep track of the designers and things like that. Never did that. I would find a pattern and try and do it. And picking my own fabrics type of thing. That's why a lot of times I just have fabric here and there. It's not a cohesive set. So I definitely feel like a beginner quilter when it comes to that. Okay, what else have we been doing? I had my eyes examined. I went to the eye doctor and they've gotten pretty bad. I don't know, I use my magnifiers when I'm stitching, so I don't know if that contributed it, or it's been like 4 years since I got new glasses. And I guess I was due when COVID happened, and then I just put it off. But, you know, I realized that I needed to get there, so I did, and I ordered the new glasses, and I don't know if I'm crazy about them, but everybody at the store said they look good. My husband said they look good. I guess by the next video, I should have them on. Oh my God, every time I think about it, I don't know if I made the right decision. Anyway, one weekend in May, it was the 22nd of May, we were over at James and Amy's house. They had a naming ceremony in the Jewish religion. A rabbi came and said blessings and gave her her Hebrew name. All I know is the first name is Hannah. I can't remember the second name. Not that she uses it or anything, but it means something in their religion. So what else did we do? Thank you everybody who responded to, I asked for your suggestion about outlining that umbrella on the Puntini chart that I did, or I'm working on, in red. And most of you agreed to do it in red. A few of you said just leave it alone, it looks fine. I think I might outline it in red. I haven't worked on it since. June is here. I'll probably pick it up in the next couple of days. And I think I will outline it in red. Also, I received a thank you card from Lindsay from, was it Blushing Pink Stitches? She won one of my giveaways, and she stitched me a beautiful little card, but I feel so bad because in transit, you can see it's ripped a little bit here and dented here. She made me an owl. She stitched the owls and put some googly eyes on them. Some of them were lost in transit and the other ones were squished and fell off, but no problem. Lindsay, you stitched the eyes under it, and if I find googly eyes at the store, I think I'm just going to add it because I love this little card. And she wrote a lovely sentiment inside. So thank you for that, Lindsay, because that took a lot. You know, it may look like a small little card, but it's not. The time you took to stitch that and put it all together, I really appreciate it. It's beautiful, and I will display it. Definitely, I love it. Then we had a get together on Memorial Day. Well, actually the day before, Sunday. My in-laws came out from New York, and we had a little barbecue. You know, all week you watch the weather. What's it going to be? First it says it was going to shower, then the showers went away, and then it was going to be in the 70s, and then it said the 80s. Well, it was really hot. It was sunny, bright sunny, hot day. But everybody persevered. We had the tents up, the umbrellas open, and lots of cold stuff to drink. And then this is what I forgot to show in my last video because I thought I forgot to bring it upstairs, but it was buried under stuff. My friend Dee bought these from Lady Dots Creates, and they were, she was doing a charity for Ukraine. They were selling these pins counting pins that they made, and the proceeds were going to go to Ukraine. So Dee bought a few sets, and she gifted me one set. So thank you, Dee. I really appreciate these. They're beautiful. And let's see, did I forget anything else? Oh, I did. I forgot to show this in the last video. You all saw this beautiful B-Skep scissor holder that the Carolina Stitcher gifted to me. On Sundays, usually they post on her Instagram page that what her husband makes, whether it's the B-Skeps or other trinkets in wood. So I made a purchase of this one. I don't know if they have names or not, but I think this is great for like a pin cushion or a catch-all, either one. And I also loved this one. Beautifully made. It's hand-stamped, handcrafted by Peter Firth. So if you're interested, usually on Sundays they post what's new in the shop, and then I guess you message her right there, and she'll let you know if you're the first one that asked for it. Because I had selected some other ones, but they were already sold. So I'm glad that I was able to get those. I really, really love them. Okay, so far I've had 23 finishes for this year. They're not all totally fully finished, but that's how many patterns I finished this year. So I do have a few that I fully finished, and one of them is, I was watching Carol, the Saltbox Stitcher, and she was showing her patriotic pieces. And in my last video I showed you a lot of the patriotic ones that I had finished. And I saw hers, and it was In Full Glory by Blackbird Design. It was in one of the books. Let's see, it was in the Sewing Club book. No, that's the other one. It was in, I didn't write the book, In Full Glory. I forgot to look it up. I'll put it in the show notes. And I says, oh, I stitched that. I don't think I finished it. So there's a few drawers here that I have cross-stitch work that I completed, but I haven't fully finished. So I went in there to look for it, and I found it. And I said, oh, I should get this done so that I have it out with my patriotic things. So this is In Full Glory. I stuffed it with fiberfill, and then I added walnut shells to this. And then I cut out a star, because this time I slid it in the back, and I cut out a star on my Sizzix machine. It was Sizzix, I think, is really for, the one I have was for paper, but I put a piece of felt in it to see if it worked, and it worked. But the die cut had 3 different size stars, so I was thinking of maybe layering them like that. I should have thought of it before I stuck this one on, and then I could have just stitched like a bead or something and then put it on. It would have been easier than trying to attach it now. But I can just glue it right in the center. That was one. Then I had another finish. I'm not going to show you. I had showed it to you before, but I'm not going to show it again because this is going to be for an exchange at the New Jersey retreat. But I filled it with fiber fill and walnut shells, and then I put some wool felt on it, and then I put a bird and the year. There's a year pin in there. It's behind there. I don't know if you can see it. 2022. And I was looking for those 2022s. I had purchased however many you buy when you buy them on Amazon, and I couldn't find them. And the funny part about it was I sent a friend of mine some, thinking that, you know, she gave me some last year, so I was going to surprise her and just send them to her. And she told me she had purchased them, but she, you know, she'll share with others and she can use them. So I didn't want to ask for it back, and I said, I know it's in here somewhere. I took everything out, all over. I looked in this thing in here. I could have jars in there. I have a piece over here that has jars, and I said, they gotta be somewhere. I looked where I have charms. I mean, I literally tore this place apart. And then when I was about to give up, I said, you know what? I have to look really, really good in this piece that I have here. And sure enough, they were in the back. I don't know, they must have fell behind the jars and everything. And so I found it and I put it on that piece. And then the other piece that I finished since we've been together is Summer ABCs. I returned the pattern to Kathy to Dye House. She lent it to me. And I did a fully finish on this. And I changed the colors. I stitched it on a blue Ada. I'm not sure if it's 16 or 18 count. I put red rickrack and a blue background for the blue sky. And then I did a patriotic bow with a covered button. And this is on with, this is glued onto this board, but this board is on with magnets because, and sheet metal. And I did that because I do have the autumn and winter one done. I didn't get to spring yet, but I figured summer's right around the corner. This will be perfect. So I finished that one. And the board I got at Hobby Lobby in their unfinished wood section, but it was the way it is now. I didn't do anything to the wood. Did I? Oh, I did. I didn't. My husband did. He probably stained it somewhat because now that I look in the back, you can see some of the, like around the edges. I wouldn't have known otherwise. I thought it came like that. So he must have put a stain on here. It's been a couple of years since I used this board because I had the fall and winter one done. So now I need to get the spring done, maybe for next year. So that's my finish on that. Okay. And, oh, where's that one? I had one more that I didn't fully finish. Oh, but it's almost there. So I'll share it with you. This is Snowflake by Works by ABC. I'm trying to figure out the direction it goes. I was going to do it into a pillow, and I said I stitched another one from Works by ABC, and I made an ornament for my Christmas tree, and I thought this would be really beautiful on the tree as well. And I was going to put a silver braid around, but I don't know, I felt it was a little bit too garish, but I found this one. It's a light blue, which was what was stitched with. It was a variegated blue, and I think in the end this will be prettier. So I'll use the same what's this called, trim, and just do a tie at the top as a hanger. I always cut it longer than I have to because I find it easier than if I'm dealing with a shorter piece. Oops, let me show you. So that's the front. And the back, I was able to find a pretty close matching fabric. And I don't remember if I got that at Hobby Lobby or at Joann's. I think Hobby Lobby, I might have gotten that. And so it's almost done. And then I think I'm going to put a silver bell on it at the top, at the place where the two trims meet. I'll put a silver bell, and I will show it to you when I fully finish it the next time. Okay, that's it for finishing. Now, what have I been stitching on? Well, the first piece I decided to work on. Of course, this is no particular order because Rosewood Manor Buckleberry Sampler, and my goal for my WIP Go was to complete rows U and V and W to Z. So that would be like up to here, these 2 rows. And I did not complete it, but I made progress. I started in the W. I had the W stitched, and I had these 3 flowers. So I did the rest across. So I think basically what's out after here is these 3 flowers and then the letters. And I did the X and the Y this time when I picked it up. So I did measure. I don't know if I told you the last time I picked this up, I was afraid that I didn't have enough fabric at the bottom, but I measured and it measures correctly, so I should have enough to complete the whole sampler. Oh yeah, it looks like a lot there. So this is what it looks like now. So pretty. I love the colors in this piece. It'd be interesting finding a frame for it, but we'll find one, and I'm lucky my husband is willing to cut them down for me. Alrighty. Next one is something I don't think I picked up this year. I think it's my oldest WIP, and this is the first time I'm picking it up this year. And that's Leela's Studio Halloween Quaker. I completed Christmas Quaker, but I was working on Halloween Quaker, and like I said, I haven't picked it up all year. I don't know, sometimes I'm just not in the mood for Halloween. I know a lot of people love Halloween, but this is a piece of fabric that was dyed for me by needleworkers, and it has no name. It was like a special dye. And basically what I stitched was the candlestick, these 2 small motifs, and this big motif. That was it. This was, not that it was difficult, it was, you had to pay attention. Like, it wasn't something that you could just pick up and stitch. You really had to check out the pattern, and I don't know why I kept getting lost in it, but so that's the whole piece. I guess I'm halfway done, maybe a little bit more. Will it be done this Halloween? I don't know. It's not on my radar to be completed, but you know, if I complete some of the things that I wanted to get completed and I have time, I will work more on it. The next one, I was watching Lindsay Blushing Pink Stitches. If you haven't seen her, you should check her out. She's a lovely young lady, and she's stitching this as well, or she bought it, and she's looking for the other 2. It's a collection of 3, and I stitched collection number 2 for Amy, my daughter-in-law, and now I'm going to stitch this one for Rebecca. I don't have number 1, but I don't know if I need number 1 if I'm going to do another set, but right now I started it. I'm stitching it on, I believe it's either white or antique white. And this is how far I've gotten on the first shoe. I didn't do any of the outlining, because once you do the outlining, it really, really stands out. Look how beautiful. So I don't, it depends what day I work on it again. If it's a day that I'm tired, then I will outline. If it's a day where I'm willing to tackle some confetti, then I'll do the flowers. So here it is again. That's the shoe. I hope you can see it because I can't always see what you're seeing. So I was really excited to pick that up, but I had to pay attention, so I did it on a day where I really can devote attention to it and not be distracted. Then I picked up Heartstring Samplery. I'm looking for the picture. Here it is. His eye is on the sparrow. And I worked above the words this time. And I finished this basket. I think that's all I did. Oh, I think I did maybe the butterfly and the basket. So I have a few more motifs, little motifs in here, and then I will be finished with the top section. I still have to connect that outline. It was because I had to move the Q-snap in order to do that, and since I wasn't going to stitch anything else there, I just let it go. So this is his eyes on the sparrow so far. I did cut it short. I'm not doing a lot at the bottom. So eventually I'm going to pick motifs and fill it in. I do love the fabric that this is stitched on. This is a 28 count Heritage, I believe. Let's see, I wrote it down. So yes, Heritage Lugana. And I really like the fabric. I love the feel of it. It's heavier for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what the base is, but it's Lugana, and I love it. Please don't fall. Please don't fall. Then I picked up Hands Across the Sea, Mary Clayton. And the last time you saw this, I for those that are stitching it or will be stitching it, I wanted you to know that it's not symmetrical. A lot of the parts, like you think the angels are on the same line across, they're not. The borders are different. There's a different amount of stitches between them. Between the pots, it varies in the house. So you really have to pay attention to the pattern when you're stitching it. So I'm almost there. I finished the last two pots on this side. Now all I have is the border to complete, and hopefully I can do that this month. And I think it's beautiful. It's my first Hands Across the Sea pattern, and I'm very happy with it. It took me longer than I anticipated. You know, like when I saw it, I said, oh, this looks like, oh, that looks like a real quick stitch. The house took a lot of time, and the grass, and it just, things are not quite what they seem all the time. But I do look forward to finishing it. It will be my first Hands Across the Sea, and so that's special. Then I picked up Seeking Refuge. And that one, there were some days I didn't stitch at all this month. Seeking Refuge by the Scarlet House. And let's see. This is where I am. I finished the house. That's what I did. I laid all the bricks and the mortar, and I started the roof. I believe I stitched 5 windows and then filled in everything else. And then the roof I started. So I have a long way to go on this, but I enjoy working on it. It's stitched on a 28 count country Mocha. I was at the store today, L&S, and I have a piece of country Mocha on order, and it's been a while, so I asked him about it, and they explained to me that the manufacturer of country Mocha is they dye, I forget how many hundreds of yards of fabric, And until they get orders to at least meet half of the yardage that they need to dye, they don't do it. So they just found out that they met those ordering goals, and they're going to start releasing the fabric. So we'll see when I'll get it now. The next one I worked is also Scarlet House, A Perfect World. And this is stitched on a 28 count Heritage Lugana. And I finished the house. And all that was done was the roof and the first row of windows were done. So I did the second part of the house and the little dog. That's it. That's all I did. This was like during the Memorial Day weekend where I was cleaning and preparing, and then we had company, and then I didn't stitch, and so this didn't get as much attention that I probably could have given it if it were better days. But new month is here, so we'll be doing new stitching. Get some more time on some of these. Actually, I don't know if I said it to you in the beginning. Happy Strawberry Month. June is known as Strawberry Month, which this is new to me, but I looked it up on Google, and they say they call it that now because it's when the strawberries in North America are ripe for picking. Okay, so that's all my stitching. And so Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff is in charge of WIPGO, and she called out 2 more numbers for June, and she called out 16 and 9. So 16 was Blackbird designs. That was Christmas Garden, so that was completed earlier in the year. And number 9 was the Tortoise and the Hare, which was also completed, so I was able to color that in. So, and I met his eye is on the sparrow goal of 15 hours. I got a few more than that, but so I got that. So the only ones that are outstanding now is Little House Needleworks Kringles. I have to complete the first row of the store windows. Leela's Studio Halloween Quaker. I have to get 15 hours in, and I only got 5, so that must be another 2 times this year at least. And Hands Across the Sea, Mary Clayton was called, and that's for a finish, which I have not met. So those are the ones that are outstanding. So no actual WIPGO matching line end to end yet. So what else am I going to tell you? Oh, where's my list here? A few new Flosstubers I've been watching. The first one is Stitching with the Twins, and the mom is Tiffany, and the 2 they're not little girls, they're young ladies, are Ansley and Maddie. They're 9 years old, and they're learning to stitch. They live in Western Pennsylvania. They have about 5 videos out, and it's so sweet to see the girls stitching. When I worked at the high school, it was before I cross-stitched, and I was quilting, and the seniors have to do a project where they have to learn something, and I guess somehow word got out that I was a quilter, and a few of the students approached me and asked them if I would show them how to do a small quilt, and I said sure. And so I had to teach them more or less on their lunch hour after school, and they went and did it, and they had to present it to the class, and that was part of their senior project. So I always love teaching somebody how to do something. I mean, I'll just give the information out. So anyway, seeing the young ladies learn how to cross stitch, I would teach any young lady that wanted to learn. So that's awesome that they're willing, that they enjoy what they're doing. The next one I watched was Linen and Scraps, and that's Molly and Kathy. I believe Kathy moved in next door to Molly and as neighbors, and they became very good friends. Kathy is a well-known cross-stitcher. I don't want to misspeak, but I know she does model stitching for a lot of designers. I'm not going to just say because I don't want to make a mistake, but she's a well-known cross stitcher. And Molly works with paper crafts, and so Kathy's teaching Molly, and Molly's teaching Kathy. So it's awesome, and they even have a tutorial on how to make a floss book. So that was a lot of fun, and they're a lot of fun. Then I watched Lynette Peters, I guess is one of my viewers, and she told me she has a Flosstube out. So I went and watched her, and she lives in Brisbane, Australia, and so I watched a few of her videos. And then I watched Lisa Prims on Greenway. I'll put this all in the drop down below. It was nice watching her. Besides cross stitching, she does wool felt applique. She made a few wooden boxes. She taught a class at Hobby House. So it was really quite interesting watching her and seeing her tutorial video. And then I watched, which I'm sure you all watch, is Vicky the Virginia Stitcher. She did a whip parade in 2 parts. And I always love watching what she's stitching, because she stitches lavender and lace, she stitches mirabilias, and everything in between. So she's been stitching a number of years. So I love watching what she's stitching. Some of it I've stitched, some of it I'm stitching, and some is new to me, and she's inspiring me. So those were Flosstubers that stuck out this month. Okay, haul. Since I went, if you're interested in haul, I went to Needleworkers, and they have Facebook sales every other Friday. It was this past Friday was needlework cross stitching sale, and they do a live, and basically we watch, and if we're interested we type in me please, or not me please, the number of, because they hold up the pattern and a number, and they go through a bunch of stuff, whether it's fabric, patterns, trims sometimes, and all we have to do is just tell them the number, and then they give us a yes that we were one of the ones, because they only have so many, and I guess depending how many people want it. So this is some of that and some that I picked up today, so I'll go through it and share it with you. I started collecting the Nutcracker Village by Country Cottage Needleworks, and this is number 6 in the patterns that were released, and it's called Mother Ginger's Candy Store. So I didn't start them. I'm going to collect them. I don't know if I want to do them all together or separately. So I'm going to ask my daughter-in-laws what they think of what I should do, because they'll probably end up with that one. Then I picked up another berries pattern, and that's by Erica Michaels, and this is the English Sampler Berries. And they show you finished with wool in the back like that. Then I picked up from New York Dreamer, Freshly Baked Pumpkin Pie. It's a rolling pin cover. I thought that was cute. Then I picked up from Primrose Cottage, June 9 patch. I showed you this metal coffee holder, but now I got the pattern for it. They were out of it when I picked it up. It's stitched on a 32 count sand linen, so I probably can get away with doing it on a 16 count. So then I picked up Lori Holt's, is it Lori Holt's? Yes. Be in My Bonnet stitch cards. So it's the airplane, car, train, and boat. Maybe I'll make little pillows and Rebecca can put it in Caleb's room or something. Then I got some fabric. And these are just 10 by 10 pieces to see if you like the color. And This is a little bit more teal in real life than the blue that is shown. It's called Mystic Seas, 14 count Aida. Precious Metals, 14 count. This might, oh, this is 14 count. I was like, this might be nice for that coffee one, but I need 16 count. This is 14 count Moon Dust. And this is just a 16 count Dirty Aida. So just to give you an idea of the colors. Sometimes it's nice to see them like next to each other to get an idea of what they really look like. And this is a 28 count Laurel Green Lugana. And let's see. I don't know if you can really see the green tint in it, but Laurel Green. Then I picked up Annabella's St. Patty's Day Trio. So I have time till St. Patty's comes along. I finished Autumn in the Village. I decided I think the next one I might do is Summer in the Village. And I'm thinking maybe on a blue background, but I haven't decided what I'll stitch it on. Our model was stitched on 28 count Ivory Jobelin over 2 threads. Well, I'll be on a 28 count, probably Lugana. Maybe I'll do it in ivory. And then the final thing that I purchased was, this is the first Teresa Colgate book I purchased. It's Let Love Rain. And that's the pattern that I purchased it for. And I really love this bottom section. I was thinking of stitching this and maybe making it a drum. Not that I've ever made a drum, but I thought I'd give it a shot. Okay, I think that was everything. So if you're still here with me, surprise, a giveaway. I'm going to open this to anybody who is interested. And I figured out that if I can mail it in an envelope this size, I would be willing to send it overseas. It shouldn't be too terrible. If I have to use a bigger envelope, then I'm going to have it just for the continental United States. So this giveaway, because it's my 99th video, I decided to do it now instead of 100, just in case people look for the 100th video and expect it. That's when the winners will be called. So the first one is a Madame Chantilly Starlight. It's called, let's see, it's number 1. Number 2 is Leela Studio. It's the Seasons and it's Summer. Number 3 is a hands-on design, Oh Say Can You See. It's just the pattern. I stitched this, but I haven't finished it, so I'm keeping the top. It doesn't come with any of the pins. I didn't purchase them either. And this is what that looks like across, and then you make it into a little drum. So that's number 3. Number 4 will be A Little Luck by Lizzie Kate. None of the buttons or trim comes with this. It was given to me by a friend, and I don't know what I added to it. I think I put a 4-leaf clover on, or 3-leaf or 4-leaf clover, a charm that I have. So you get this pattern, you'll get Heart and Hand, Love You More, and Lizzie Kate Snail Mail. Those 3 will be number 4. So the question you'll answer is, if you were to pick one of your finishes that you've already finished stitching to stitch again because you loved it, stitching it so much, what would it be? I brought mine here. This is a Brenda Keys pattern, Plymouth Sampler. And I don't know why, but I loved stitching this. trying to get without glare. It's a Brenda Keys Sampler Company pattern. Like I said, Plymouth Sampler. I finished this August 12th, 2018. And it hangs downstairs in my dining room. Oops. One of the holders came loose. I have to get the screwdriver and tighten it up. But if I had to choose one pattern to stitch again because I just loved it so much, that would be the one that I chose. So that's what I'd like to know from you. If you had to stitch something over, what would you like to stitch again that you love so much? So that'll be interesting. And you have to be 18 in order for you to give me your address. Please don't say giveaway or any form of that word. And I'm not saying anything that any other Flosstuber doesn't say when they do a giveaway. And please like my video. Please give me a thumbs up. Please be a subscriber. And I'm going to hold it open until 12:59 p.m. on June 8th. Anything after June 8th will not be eligible for the giveaway, but if you still want to tell me what pattern you'd like to stitch, I'd still love to hear it. But it's because I write everything down of who says what and what's their pattern, and after a week's time I will be tired of doing that, so it'll just be open for a week. And I just wanted to show you a project bag that's in progress. That was one of the reasons I had to run out this morning. I needed Velcro to finish it. This is the inside. I turned it this way so you wouldn't see it, but I finished quilting it, and I used wavy lines, and I think I'm going to stitch Gianna's quilt like this. That's one of the reasons I haven't finished it, is because I didn't know how I wanted to quilt it yet. But I think I'm going to do this. The only thing is with this, because it's already finished edges and I had to stitch straight up and down, I had to hide the threads. So I had all threads up here. So this morning I had to knot them and bury them inside. So I will show you what the outside will look like once this is all put together. It will look like this. I love this fabric. I purchased this one. We went to Hawaii, I forget how many years ago, maybe 2016 maybe. We met our Sal's cousins from Australia. We met halfway in between our homes, and Hawaii was the place. So I picked up some fabric, and I would realize I wasn't doing much with it, and I says, you know, this is so pretty. I'd love to make a project bag. So what I have left to do, I put a tab here in case I want to hang any embellishments or scissors or anything like that. But I need to put Velcro here and here so that it will stay closed, and then I will stitch down the sides to close it. So that's another thing that I was working on. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you come back and see who won the giveaways and see what else I've been working on. And until next time, guys, love you, take care, be kind, bye.